Okay, so we'll get started. Welcome, guys. So hopefully everybody was able to attend last week. If you missed it, we do have the recording. So we talked about defining your why and your vision and sharing that why with your coach. Because a lot of times your why is very shallow, we'll say, and you know, in order to stick with it in this business, you have to have a strong why. And they say, you know, you want a why that makes you cry, right? So you might not have that now, but you know, your coach can definitely work with you to, you know, further define your why. I know I had a coach that sent me her why, and it was kind of surfacey, kind of, you know, I want to help people, you know, that type. And there's a document that Brian, you probably have it too, about 7 levels, defining, you know, 7 levels of your why. And basically you keep asking, you know, a question, you know, when you say, well, I want to help people. Well, why do you want to help people? Right? Well, you know, because, you know, whatever. Or why do you want to make more money? Well, I want to make more money so I can stay home with my kids. Well, why do you want to stay home with your kids? Well, because my parents never stayed home with me, and, you know, like ruined my life, and now I don't want to do the same to my kids, whatever, you know. So anyway, you definitely want to dig more into your why. That's why you want to share it with your coach.
Well, and you know, the way that I look at it, why I think I said it last week, why I have such a strong why, is because, you know, and I think Wendy was talking about this as I was getting on the call too, about, you know, your husband losing his job and then you going back to work. Greg, what is that thing that stat you said, the 40-40-40?
Yeah, you put me on the spot. I don't remember it. You work 40 years for
40%
to live the remaining 40 years of your life off of 40% of your salary, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. But that, you know, I have a lot of different whys. A lot of you guys know it. But that why there of getting older with Andrea and not being able to live. I mean, we get one shot. Okay, that's my belief. We get one shot at life. That's it, and then it's over. And why not everyone, and I wasn't always like this, but why isn't everyone completely running like they're on fire towards their goals and what they want to achieve in life when you only get one shot at it? You know, that's my why. You know, what is going to happen to us when we get older? You know, I want to see the world. I want to travel to different countries. I don't want to worry about health costs and you know, I want to be able to do the things that I want to do, making, you know, living paycheck to paycheck and then living on Social Security, or man, that just freaking, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And that is deep rooted into my why. And whenever I think about myself 20 years from now, and I picture the opposite, you know, like picture that person that, you know, doesn't have any money, is collecting a Social Security check, and you know, my parents will be gone, everybody maybe calling my sister, and I don't know. I don't want to be that person. You know, I want to be able to, and as my job, yeah, I'm going to get a little retirement, but it's going to let me do what I want to do. How long am I going to live, you know, at that point? And, you know, that's my why.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's why I put all the work in now. I don't play, you know, I do a little bit of playing, but work now, work hard now, and then I'll play later, where many people just kind of want to play now, you know, and then work hard later. It doesn't work that way. Anyway, sorry. I just kicked the soapbox over, so go ahead.
All right. So,
Greg's like, shut up. Come on.
No. I cut out there, so I missed what you said at the end. So we talked about your why, your vision, right? We also talked about the 4 vital behaviors, and we shared that Carl gave on, the 4 vital behaviors. So definitely listen to that audio, that MP3. If you need it, just ask Brian or I. We definitely, can give that to you again. But tonight we want to dive deeper into, I don't know which, I think it was the 2nd vital behavior on inviting, right? Inviting, sharing, following up, handling responses, handling objections. That's what we do a lot as coaches, or really what we should be doing a lot as coaches, right? Sharing, that's what we call sharing. So we kind of wrap it all up into that nice little word. We don't sell, right? We share. And one of the biggest ways, probably the way that most people share, is through social media, okay? So Facebook, I would say, is the #1 way that we share. I would say coaches are kind of split between Facebook and Instagram as the #1. Some coaches do all Instagram. They search hashtags and they find people through Instagram. Snapchat is one. YouTube is one. Blogging is one. YouTube videos. These are different forms of social media, and it really doesn't matter which one you do. I wouldn't suggest as a new coach that you try to tackle them all. I would suggest just picking 1 or 2 to start with and kind of master those. And after you do that, you can expand to Twitter and a web page or whatever. I find a lot of coaches, they get they think, oh, I need a web page to be successful, right? I need a blog. Well, then they spend, all their time working on a blog, right, where they have no experience with that or expertise in that. And it sucks up all the time that they have. And really, it doesn't produce the results, right? They're putting all this time into it where they really should just be focusing on sharing their story in the beginning, right? Sharing their story, talking to people, learning how to invite, learning how to, handle objections and responses, because that's really the bread and butter. So let's start with the bread and butter, okay? So social media, do's and don'ts. Brian, you want to talk briefly about some do's and don'ts?
Yeah. We have a document that we're going to share with you guys. And if you're on this call before, when we do them every month, maybe you have the document. But these are the do's and don'ts of posting on Facebook. And as a coach, when you're doing your posts, it's very important you follow these guidelines because some of these are pretty self-explanatory. The biggest thing is whenever you're posting, you don't want to vomit sales on people. That's very unattractive. It's unclassy. As coaches, that's not what we do. We don't make posts that with our links in them and buy your challenge pack. Here's the link, or you guys know what we do. We talk about we should talk about our journeys, and we share that. We try to add value with your posts. Think when you're reading it, ask yourself that question: am I adding value with this post? If you want to talk about sales and you want to share links, that's fine. You do that in private messages. You do that in emails when you're talking to people, but not on your post so everyone sees it in your news feed. We don't do that. There's lots of other ones, like a big one coaches do is they'll get into discussions that where you're negating like maybe 50% of your population. Politics is one, right? If as a coach, your customers are going to be from all different political views, all different religions, all different ethnicities, all different everything. So you don't want to be posting that could separate and divide. And there's been a lot, recently in the news, the last 6 months, that a lot of that is going on. So you don't want to do stuff like that. Just be yourself. I mean, that's what you want to do. You want to be yourself. You don't want to. You don't want to report when you're doing your posts, and that's what I used to do a lot of. Is I would report that I did my workout. Well, that's great. People would like it, but is that really adding value? So now what I do is I still talk about my workouts, but I just try to add some more. So do's and don'ts. You guys will get this list. We'll share it with you, so you'll see the what not to do on social media.
Yeah, I shared it in the comments, so you guys can bookmark that or copy and paste it to Notepad or whatever, so that you have it and just go through it. If you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to us. Some of the big ones are your profile picture. Make sure it's of you. Make sure there's so many coaches, especially like when I try to announce a coach, I have to dig through, 10 years of photos to find one of them so that I can announce them into our coach group. I gotta look at their dog and their cat and their, wood pile and, just to find a picture of them. So, make sure your profile, because you are selling you. Right? People aren't buying into Beachbody, right? They're not buying into a workout program. They're not buying into Shakeology. They're buying into you, right? Because they can get that from anywhere. They can go to Beachbody. They can go to Amazon. They go to eBay and get that stuff. When people sign up with you, they're buying into you, right? So they want to see you. They want to know what you're about. So you want to have, a Facebook cover photo that represents you, what you are about. And one of the things that a lot of social media experts talk about is create a list of 5 things that represent you. Okay. If you're religious, that's something that you would want to put on your list. If you are a cat lover like Brian, that's something you want to put on your list. If you are, I don't know, what else, Brian? If you love Disney, for example, you're a Disney lover, that's something you could put on your list, right? So it's just think of 5 things that represent you that kind of would make up your brand, right? As a coach. And those are the things that you want to post about with your social media, right? Maybe it's your mom, maybe your kids are part of, a top priority and they're part of your life, right? So you probably already post about your kids, right? So you don't want to stop doing that now that you're a coach. You want to continue posting about your kids, right? But one of those things of that list of 5 is now you're a Beachbody coach. You're a health and fitness coach, right? Even though you may not feel like one, maybe you just started, right? That's okay. But now it's part of your life. And if you think of, the 5 things that you should be posting about, and a lot of coaches, they recommend posting 5 times a day, 3 to 5 times a day. That's what they recommend. If you want to start building that following, you could post about one of those 5 things, but Beachbody is just one of those things that you want to post about, right? You want to continue posting about your kids. Maybe you're a wife, right? That's another major thing that you are. So you can post about, marriage life and, stuff like that you post about already. But Beachbody, like Brian said, not reporting like, hey, I drank my shake or I did my workout, right? Like you probably do in your challenge groups. That's not what you want to post about. You want to share, right? You always have to have a purpose. Think always think when you're making a post, start it with a question, right? Add value. You want to get people to engage with your posts, right? So you can always, ask a question like, like, would you be willing to work out 30 minutes a day if you could lose, 10 to 15 pounds? That would be a opening question, in 21 days, for example. Would you be willing to work out 30 minutes a day if you could lose 10 to 15 pounds in 21 days? That's a good opening question. And then your post could go on to say, hey, I just completed 21 Day Fix. I lost 10 pounds in 21 days by drinking Shakeology and doing this simple workout that I can do at home. I have 3 spots open in my upcoming premier group that I'm running with my coach or my team. Would anybody be willing to join me? Right? That would be a very engaging post that you could make, right? And it's offering, it's sharing, and it's offering a solution. Now, obviously, you're not going to want to do that every single day, right? But like once a week, you could have that, I call it like the call to action post, right? Where you're advertising, essentially, your upcoming challenge group or your upcoming free group, right? Which we're going to talk about.
Or even not even announcing, even recognizing what you're doing now. Your challenge groups tomorrow. I got a post coming. Who's Wendy, Regina? You guys know. We're doing for Valentine's Day. We're doing all of us are going to post on our Facebook pages about our new premier group on the Challenge Tracker app. So it's all of us, all the coach leaders that are in the group. Valentine's Day post. There's hearts with our names on them, and so I'm excited. I can't wait to make that post in the morning. So it doesn't always have to be about announcing something coming. It could be what I'm doing is I'm just sharing. I'm sharing what I love. Why I love being a coach and what I love doing. And that's kind of what I'm doing with my post. And there's not going to be any sort of like, come join me or anything like that. It's just letting people know, because people will contact you. People will see those. They might not do it right away, but they'll see these posts that you're making. And if you're consistent with them, I know Greg said some coaches do 3 to 5 times a day. I can't do it. That's not me. If you get 2 out of me, that's pretty good. If you're consistent with it, people will see it, and then it could be weeks later, a month later, 2, whatever, and then we're going to talk about next week about adding more friends, so your friends grow and more people can see what you're posting about, but they will come to you. Half of my customers I get now come to me. They say, I've been watching you and following you for the last few weeks or the last month, and you talked about your groups. I know you're a coach. You're posting motivational stuff. I'm ready. I need to do something. What can you work with me? And then that's what happens. So, so it's just sharing everything. And then like Greg said, it doesn't always have to be Beachbody. It shouldn't always be that. It's sharing your life, sharing, letting people know who you are. And then you can make fun posts too, that really have no purpose. And they're just fun, asking questions. I remember the most post that I made that got the most comments on, the most likes ever in like history, like, I don't know, hundreds and like over 100 comments or something, was that toilet paper post. And I talk about that a lot. I posted that, are you an over or under when you do your toilet paper? The question. And oh my God, like hundreds of people commented. And I'm like, the other day I posted, wouldn't you like Greg, wouldn't you like to lose 20 pounds in 21 days? Come with me, and nothing, but toilet paper, yeah, 100 comments. So, but it's getting, people are engaging with you, and they're, so it can be fun stuff too.
And also to teach you guys just a little bit about Facebook affinity is not when you make a post, not everyone sees it, right? Like if you have 100 friends and you make a post, you know, let's say you made that post about 21 Day Fix and you said, well, no one liked it. Well, I guarantee you probably only 5% of your friends actually saw the post, you know, because the way Facebook does it is if you, you know, if you don't have people engaging on that post, so engagement is a like, a comment, a click, right? You know, a share, right? If no one does that in that first 5% that they release it to, then it won't go any further. It'll just die, right? So that's why you always want to ask a question, right? Because you want more people to see it, right? The more people, you want to tell people what to do. Like, hey, like this, comment on it if you want more information, you know, and that's why you'll see a lot of coaches, like Brian said, they'll post those funny things or those questions about like, hey, what dress do I, you know, look better in, the blue one or the red one? You know, what they're trying to do is they're just trying to get engagement so that they get a further reach, right? So, you know, these coaches have, you know, some of the top coaches have like 5,000 friends, but they know that unless they can get that reach, right, by everyone commenting, sharing, that people aren't going to see it. And the other good thing is when you build that, that's called Facebook affinity. So let's say you did that kind of post like 3 days in a row and you got hundreds of people commenting, liking, sharing. Then when you do like the 4th day, you do the call to action, like, hey, I have a clean eating group that's starting up Monday. Who's interested? Facebook's going to release it to a lot more people than that 5%. That's the way it works because they say, oh, this person's very popular. They have lots of friends. I'm going to release it to 30% or 50% of the people, you know, who are liking and commenting on it. So that's the way it works, right? So you want to keep that in mind. That's the social media game, right? That's how Facebook does things. So, you know, sharing your story is another thing, right? I mean, and that's something that you don't want to do just one time, right? So if you have a transformation story and it could just be 10 pounds, right? Or it could be, you know, like Michelle Taylor or Shanna Holt, right? You have a huge, you know, success story, right? Where you've lost, you know, lots of weight. I know Michelle Taylor lost 100 pounds, right? I mean, that's amazing, right? I mean, if you have something like that, definitely you want to share that, like, you know, all the time, right? Like once a month or something, right? Because if you're always bringing in new people, they don't know your story, right? So you want to be sharing that. But, you know, just to start out with, definitely share your story, because that's going to get a lot of people, you're going to inspire a lot of people, you're going to motivate a lot of people, and a lot of people want to take action just from like your before and after or from your story if you have, you know, a good transformation story. And like I said, even 10 pounds is very motivational to some people. You know, they'd be like, right now, it's like, I can't lose 10 pounds. I wish I could lose 10 pounds, right? And if you have a solution for how you lost 10 pounds, they're going to be interested. So things that you can do is like those type posts to generate interest, to generate, you know, excitement. That's one type of invitation that you can do. Another invitation that you can do is to create an event, right? On Facebook, you've seen events, right? People create those. You can create those right from your timeline. You can create an event that says, hey, I'm offering a 7-day clean eating challenge that's coming up starting Monday. Who's interested, right? And people can click on that event. You can actually invite 50, 100 friends or whatever, and people can click on that event and they can say, I want to go, or I'm interested. And then you can, you know, add them into a private group or give them more information. So events are definitely a great way of inviting people. Another thing that you can do, like we asked you last week, to create a list, right? Create a list of people that you know, right? It doesn't have to be just on Facebook. It could be friends, family, you know, other people that you can think of. And you can start doing, you know, personal invites. Like if you know, like your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, you know, people who, you know, could really benefit from Beachbody, you could send them a personal invitation and you could talk to them. Typically what I'll do is I'll start with like a post, right? And then if they like or they comment on it, then I'll follow up with a personal, private message invitation that says, hey, thanks for liking my post. Would you like some more information about it? Or I would love to get you into my challenge group. What questions do you have, or something like that, just to do things like that. Let's see, let me share with you our document. We have a document here. Here's another thing that you can bookmark or copy. I just pasted it in the comments, the chat. Basically, it's a Google document that was put together by a group of 5-star diamond coaches. And this was, just a month or two ago when the All Access Pass Challenge Pack came out. And they put together, different invitations, like a post, a chat, a text, an email. You'll see at the bottom where it has different tabs, different sheets, right? There's like 20 different sheets of all different invitations that you can do. And if you go through that, you'll see follow-ups and objections and other things related to the All Access Pass, right? Now that's like a huge thing, right, that Beachbody just came out with, right? Hopefully you all have signed up with the All Access Pass because it's such an amazing value. And that's what you want to share with your friends, right? That's pretty much the only thing now that I share is the All Access Pass. If anybody wants to get started with Beachbody, it's All Access Pass, right? The only reason that I wouldn't do All Access Pass is if they tell me they don't have internet at home, right, or Wi-Fi. And then you could fall back on just a regular challenge pack. But other than that, it's always All Access Pass. And there's a lot of good examples in there that you can use for posts and for conversations and things like that. Brian, you want to talk about responses, how to handle responses?
Yeah, let me get back to mine. I was looking at that document as Greg was speaking. I've seen it multiple times, but it's just, there's so much information in there. So definitely go through it. Those tabs on the bottom, spreadsheet, open them up, read it, what other coaches are saying, and then make it your own. Make it your own that's in there. Lots of different, and there's even more information on, not just the All Access Pass in there. It's also, messages to your coaches, which I know you guys don't have yet, but you will. So there's lots of good stuff in there. All right, sorry, Greg. Response.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so somebody does. So you're making your posts, and then somebody says, "Lisa, great post. Yeah, I'm very interested in what you're talking about. What this pass is. I have no idea. Tell me more about it." And then Lisa freaks out and goes, "I don't know what to say." Right? Well, that's why we have the document. But what I always like to do whenever somebody new is contacting me, I don't immediately, and I just had this over the weekend. I've been having this conversation with this person for via email after they contacted me first on Facebook, and it's, well, here's my email. I'll send you more information, or ask them for their email. But is you don't just say, okay, great, this person contact. Well, here you go. Here is the link. Here is my link to the All Access Pass. Go buy it, and then let me know when you buy it, and I'll put you into the group. That's not what you do. You start a conversation, that you talk to them, about their interests, what their goals are, what what she did was she emailed me and she said, I did 21-day fix for a week. I liked it. But what do you think I should do? And that's pretty much all her email said, So I'm like, well, I know nothing about her. So I emailed her back and I said, well, I want to recommend something for you, something that's going to work, something that's going to allow you to get to your goals. But first I need to know, what those goals are. So tell me a little bit about, what you'd like to achieve. Also, give me an idea of your fitness level right now. If you'd, share with me your height, your weight, your age, and then I could help set some plan up for you. But it's just asking questions. It's responding to them. And nowhere in that email that I sent was, and here's my link to go buy, Shakeology, or a paragraph about what Shakeology is and how to use it and why I used it and why I lost 100 pounds. No, the first email contact was just, it's always all about that. That's what it is. My job as a coach, your job as coaches, is to help other people get results. It's not to sell challenge packs. It's to help other people get. So there might be, still communicating with her, but there might be, she might not be a good candidate for the All Access Pass. I don't know why. I'm just saying, before the All Access Pass, it was like, well, what was on sale that month? Quarter Force. Well, maybe she's not the right candidate so I'm not going to recommend Quarter Force, just to recommend it. Let's figure out, something else. So you have to get, to know. Then after that relationship builds up, then you start talking about, okay, this is it. I do have what I think is going to work, what I know is going to work for you. Okay, there's this program. It's called the Masters Hammer and Chisel. It's got these 2 trainers in it. You told me that you like weights, but you also like a little bit of cardio mixed in. You also told me that that you want to tone up, that you have some fat to lose and some calories, and in this program it really works your legs, because we all know that's where the fat burning happens. Is if you want to lose weight in your belly or wherever, you work your legs. So then I start going into why I think this program will fit the goals that this person wants to achieve. So then I'll start listening out. But now, like Greg said, it is really about the All Access Pass. So I'll recommend a couple programs, and then I'll tell them about the All Access Pass. That you get this, you don't have to worry about getting any other programs ever again. You're going to be able to get everything, and then I can really work with you and figure out exactly what program. Because maybe Hammer and Chisel might not work out for you. I know it's going to, but if it doesn't, then we can move on to something else. And you're not committed to buying up only a program and then being stuck with it. No, now you have, the whole library is opened up and is available to you. And with all the documentation and with everything in there. So now, I'm telling them about the All Access Pass. Then I talk to them about, well, what are we going to do, after you get your program? Well, you're going to come join my group. I have lots of different groups going on. I have something for everyone. If you're not into Facebook, I do my groups on the Beachbody website, on the message boards. If you like Facebook, I got the Facebook group too. Challenge Tracker app, there's this new thing. It's called the Challenge Tracker app. And then I explain a little bit about the Challenge Tracker app. So I'm also providing that ongoing support that person knows that it's going to be there, that I'm not just here's the program, go ahead, see you later, email me if you want, but no, this is what I do as a coach. I provide a home for you for whatever you're going to do. Not only are you going to be around me, but you're going to be around many other people who are all on the same mission that you are. The goals are, maybe the specific goals might be different, but everything that we're doing is similar. We're doing this all together. And then I explain a little bit about the groups that I do. So they know they're going to get that fitness. They know they're going to get that nutrition, that they know that they're going to get that support. And then, then I will share the links with them and say, well, this is, by this time, hopefully they're like, well, God, you've talked so much about it. How do I get it? Well, here, this is how you get it. And here's the link that you can go and you can purchase it. So you can see it's not, what was the first thing I said? Do's and don'ts on Facebook. You don't vomit sales. You don't just post a link to your product. No, we're in the business of creating relationships, forming relationships, and creating trust. We're in the business of helping people get to their goals, not in the business of selling anything, you know. So that's the progression that I do with every new person that I come in contact with. And then they say no. Well, I'll throw it to you, Greg. And then after you talk to them, they say, well, I'm really not ready yet. I've talked to my husband. I've talked to or whatever. I don't have the money right now, whatever. And then they say no. And then how do you do that, Greg, with the follow-up?
Yeah, the money objection is the number one objection you're going to get, right? Because when you finally offer them the solution, right, of the all access challenge pack, and they say, well, how much is it, right? Well, it's $199, right? And they'll be like, wow, I don't have $199. Or, oh, I'd have to talk to my husband about that, you know, which is the kiss of death, right? So at that point, you just need to, you know, make sure that they understand the value of the challenge pack, right? So Brian, he'd probably already explained to them the value. But, you know, if you had a post, for example, we shared the document of scripts about the all access pass, right? That kind of, you know, just teases them with the information. And then if they say, you know, how much is it? And you say it's $199, and they'll be like, oh, that's too much money. Well, then you got to say, you know, well, let me explain it to you, everything that you get, right? You say, well, you're going to get every program that Beachbody's ever done, right? The deluxe workouts, you're going to get every new program that comes out. It's good for a whole year, right? You're going to get 30 meals with it, the Shakeology, and then you explain to them, you know, this is a superfood. I always explain to people, this is not your whey protein shake that you can buy at Walmart for $15 that has, like Jessica Gray would say, like ground up cardboard in it, right? This is, you know, 70 superfoods from all over the world. You know, I explain the portion fix and the containers and why they need that, right? Because you've already talked to them about their why and what they're trying to accomplish. And you can say, you know, you need these, you know, you need this solution, right? So, you know, a lot of times just explaining them the value of it, and they're like, and, you know, and it's on special right now, you know, you can say things like that. And, you know, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, okay, you know, something else that you can do is you can offer them, I do this a lot, I offer them a gift, right? It's like sweeten the deal, right? You could say, I'm willing to throw in a Fix-Aid cookbook. I'm willing to throw in a gift certificate to Amazon or to maybe your grocery store, right? I mean, what's a chain that's, you know, near them, you know, like a Giant or Harris Teeter or whatever, right? Hey, I'm willing to throw in a $25 gift certificate to Harris Teeter, you know, or whatever, you know. So you can do things like that. You know, that could definitely help push people, you know, and then they're like, okay, well, that's just too good a deal to pass up, you know. Let's see.
Yeah, remember with the all access challenge pack, $199, you guys are getting a $70 commission for it. $70. So if you do give something back, if you give that $30 rebate back, $30 gift card, Amazon gift card, whatever, you're still receiving a $40 commission off of it, and you are getting your Success Club points. You're getting 3 of them, you know, for this is the last month where you're going to be able to get 3 for the all access pass, because starting March 1st, it goes back. You're only going to be getting 2 Success Club points for it. You know, just, and I never lead with that. You know, hardly ever, I shouldn't say never, but hardly ever do I lead with, you know, well, it's only, you know, this price, you know, it's always telling them. And then if they come back with the money objection, you know, and then I kind of dig a little bit deeper into, you know, what is, you know, because by that time, maybe I've talked to them a little bit more, and I know they've told me that they're trying to get their nutrition under control, but at work, you know, there's no place to eat, so they're eating McDonald's for lunch every day, or KFC for lunch every day. And I say, well, listen, with Shakeology, you're not going to be eating that. So you're going to be saving $5 every day for lunch. That $5 a day, think of that going towards Shakeology, because that's going to be your meal replacement for lunch. That's what you're going to have for lunch. So if you were to go into the grocery store right now and you were to purchase 30 lunches for the whole month, how much is that going to cost you? 30 lunches for the whole month. If it's $5 for each lunch, and it's probably way more than that, you're at $150 already that you're going to spend on lunch for the whole month. Well, this next month, you're going to be using Shakeology for your lunch. And that's $199 challenge pack. So it's $100 for Shakeology, $99 for, Beachbody On Demand. So it's getting that, that initial phase of forming that relationship and finding out not only what their goals are, but finding out where they're at. Where are you at right now? What is your nutrition like? So you're getting all of this information. So when that time comes, where it's like, well, that's too much money. Well, here's maybe where you can save some money, because you're not going to be doing this anymore. You're going to be using Shakeology, and, so on and so forth.
Right. If all those suggestions still don't work, then use the fallback plan, where you can say, well, you can just get the all access pass without Shakeology, right? It's not the optimal solution. It's not the total solution, right? But you can still get every single workout program on demand for $99, right? $99 for an entire year. That's like, $8 something a month, right? I mean, it's cheap, dirt cheap, right? It's less than Netflix, which they probably have, So, that's a great option to fall back on, because you just want to get them started, right? If you can get them started with the all access pass, right, they're going to love it. Every single workout program that they do, they're going to see a Shakeology ad. You're going to be able to, eventually, hopefully get them on Shakeology, because you're going to get them into one of your challenge groups or that challenge tracker app where people are logging their Shakeology workouts and they're seeing other people drinking Shakeology. So you're eventually going to be able to get them on Shakeology. So it's not the end of the world. And now, starting March 1st, they're going to offer 2 Success Club points for just Shakeology HD, which is amazing, right? They've never done that before. So going forward, you can get, you don't have to sell them a challenge pack to get 2 Success Club points. Just Shakeology will do it.
So it has to be HD. It has to be on Home Direct. So that's one thing with Shakeology too, guys. And I'm actually having a Shakeology week in my coach group this week. It's all about Shakeology. We got the Surge coming on Thursday, the Shakeology Surge. So I hope all you guys go to that Thursday night. That's going to be awesome. Darren O'Lean, co-creator of Shakeology, is going to be on there. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. Where were Shakeology?
I don't know.
Getting this
point.
What's that?
The 2 points that you're getting 2 points starting March.
Yeah, getting right 2 points. It used to be 1 point, but I had another train of thought. But
you're having Shakeology week in your challenge group right now.
Right. But I was leading up to something. Forget it. Let me throw it back to Greg. Total brain fart. But the Shakeology Surge, that's what I started to talk about, but it was something else. But yeah, so this week, be there Thursday. Take it, Greg.
Okay. So if that still doesn't work, then you can always fall back to, they could try out Beachbody On Demand for 30 days for free, right? How can they pass that up, really? And the good thing about that is you are still assigned as their coach, right? Because they still sign up through you to get that 30 days, right? So therefore, after the 30 days, if they continue, you'll automatically get the commission, right? Right, for them staying on the Beachbody On Demand, and then you're getting them into your challenge group, so you're giving them the support, right? So that's definitely a fallback that you can do. In the worst case, if they say, if they give you an excuse, whatever, not right now, then just say, that's fine. if right now is not a good time for you for whatever reason, you're going into surgery or still recovering from something, that's fine. Just say, I'll follow up with you next month. Does that work out? Would that be okay? If you ask them that, 99% of the time, they'll be like, yeah, please do. That would be great, And so it's never a no, never. It's a no, right, not right now. So remember that. Did we lose Jessica? Did she drop off?
Yeah, I think she dropped off.
Okay.
I remember what I was going to say, though.
What's that?
When you mentioned Shakeology HD and that we're getting 2 points now, I wanted to emphasize that it's for HD, not just if they buy 1 month supply of Shakeology. You don't get any Success Club points for that. But you got to make sure you talk to them about that because, and a lot of people are like home direct. I don't want auto ship me. Listen, you guys know, listen, it's $2 shipping if you get the HD. So it's not going to be $10, $15. So you're going to be saving money. It's going to be $2 shipping. You can cancel it anytime, but I'm telling you, you're not going to want to cancel it once you start experiencing those results. But you can cancel anytime. Beachbody sends you an email a week before it ships, so you're not going to be any surprises. You're going to know when your next order ships. So make sure. So never get anybody to just get Shakeology without doing the HD. Always get them to do the HD. Even if they tell you, even they say it's a gift for my aunt. I'm not even buying it for myself. Well, get the HD anyway, and then cancel it the following week because you're going to save the money on the shipping. So.
Yeah, what does it cost? Like $16 or something? It's
shipping?
Yeah.
Well, it all depends. It's different wherever they ship to. I mean, I've seen it before because you guys can actually see that in your back office. If you go to previous office view and look at each customer's invoice, you can see the shipping charges. And sometimes I see, shipping charges of like, $18 to ship. So they're paying $130 plus tax, plus the shipping, like $155. This is US, Wendy. $155 for Shakeology when they could have paid $132 plus tax. So it's just crazy.
Yeah. So my last point that I was going to say is, if they say not right now, you have to have a way of tracking and following up. Right? That's key, guys. So no matter who you talk to, like who likes your picture, who comments that says they want more information, somebody clicks going on your event, somebody comes to your clean eating, doesn't matter. Every single person you need to keep track of. I use a spreadsheet. I use Google Docs. Okay, that's my preferred method. But I know a lot of people prefer like pen and paper. That's cool. If you're a pen and paper girl, do it. If you use some other form of note taking, whatever, just track, So I put together a spreadsheet and I put together, when I last contacted them, where I contacted them, right? Was it on a post? Were they part of my clean eating group? Were they part of a challenge group? Where did I talk to them? When did I talk to them in their name? And that way it was like an email. I know I could go back to that email and follow up. You can add in a follow-up date. A lot of times I'll set myself a calendar reminder. Like if they say, yeah, please follow up with me next month, I'll go into my calendar and I'll set an event that reminds me to follow up with this person next month, But it also allows you to work that. It goes back to that list, right? You always have to have a list, right, that you can go back to, and I can go down that list. So, for example, I hit Success Club typically the first week of every month. How do I hit Success Club the first week of every month? Because I go back to a list, right, of people that have told me no, not right now, maybe next month, whatever, and I work my way down that list, right? So I'm always building a list. I have lists of hundreds of people on it, and I can always go back to that list, right? So that's why we talked about starting a list, right? And tracking follow-up. That's all part of that list. Brian, do you want to talk about the felt found a little bit?
Sure. I want to share this with you guys though real quick. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yep. It's all in the follow-up. 2% of sales are made on the first contact with somebody. 3% are made on the second contact. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. 10% on the fourth, and 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. 80%. That's great. That is why follow-up is so important. Just think of yourself as a consumer. You know, how many times did AT&T call you before you said, all right, let's give it a try? Or the commercial that you saw, or even us here. Greg, how many times did you ask me to become a coach before I said yes? You know, 3 times, you know? So it's all in the follow-up. Everything is in the follow-up. All right. What am I sharing? Feel, felt, found. That is a methodology to use when you are, when people are given objections to you, or they're saying, like, for instance, I don't do shakes. I don't do shakes. I did a smoothie a while ago and it didn't do anything. So I'm not a shake person. I don't do shakes. How do you answer that? Well, use that rule, feel, felt, found. Because I was the same way, you know, with Shakeology, you know. I said, well, I understand how you feel because I felt that way myself. But I found that when I started using Shakeology, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you're empathizing with them, empathizing, am I saying that right? With them, you know, that you feel what they're saying to you and that you felt that way before. You know, I use this method all the time in a lot of my groups with, you know, people trying to lose weight with their nutrition, you know, and I can relate. I felt I was there, you know, I was trying to do insanity at 260 pounds. You know, I've been there, you know, I'm feeling what you're feeling now. I felt that. But this is what I found. This is what you do. Use that same approach when you get objections. You know, feel, felt, found.
Right. And the found is personal story, right?
Yes.
We say facts. What is it? Facts don't sell, right? Stories sell, facts tell, right? Something like that. So always, you know, always share a story, right? It doesn't have to be personally, but it could be, hey, my coach, I know somebody, my coach, you know, found that, you know, this really worked and helped, you know, him lose 100 pounds. Or whatever. Hold on a second here. Oh, okay. So, so definitely share stories, right? And it could be something that you don't know. You know, somebody can ask you, well, what's the difference between, you know, Shakeology and this Herbalife thing? You don't need to get into that discussion, right? You don't want to go down that road. You just want to say, I don't know anything about that. All I know is this is what I did and this worked, right? All I know is I drank Shakeology, you know, every day and lost 30 pounds. You know, I don't know about that. All I know is this, right? So that's what you want to do. So
yeah, never get into a bidding war, not a bidding war, but never get into a debate on, you know, this product, you know, well, I'm using it works. And so far I've lost 5 pounds. How, you know, and I haven't lifted anything. You know, I haven't done any exercise, you know, even though you want to sit, and Jessica, even though you want to tear down It Works into pieces and say, what are you, crazy? What are you wrapping yourself with saran wrap? What are you doing? You don't. You say, well, listen, I don't know anything about It Works. You know, all I know is that you know, and then you talk about you talk about Beachbody. None of that other stuff.
all right. I'm going to share a link on the business activity tracker. That's your homework, guys. Jessica, since you finally came back on, do you want to share about what the business activity tracker is and what they need to do?
The business activity tracker is a great way for you guys to track, to make sure that you guys are doing what we need to be doing every day as coaches in order to build a business. There's some basics that Beachbody has talked to all of the top coaches, the elite coaches, to kind of figure out what it is that they do on a day-to-day basis in order to build an awesome business, and put that together in a little tracker form for us so that we can make sure we're doing those same things. I'm not looking at one right now. Let me click on that link. You can it's just a great way to make sure that you're hitting all of your most important bases each and every day. You're setting goals, you're working towards them, and you're seeing at the end of the week if you're meeting those goals or not, and if you need to change your game plan. Sorry, I'm looking at, I don't use this one, so.
And that's fine. It doesn't have to be that one, right? I mean, people.
Yeah, there's tons of them on Pinterest. There's tons of them. You can make your own if you're a savvy little designer. But it's just any way that you can come up with that suits you best to make sure that you're taking care of the important stuff each and every day.
Because I know when I need to write things down, I need to have some sort of, I'm an emerald personality, so I need to have, even if it's, doing my workout, I write it down. No matter what I write down, and Greg talked about the list, it becomes real when you write it down. It becomes real when you're tracking it, so you might have all these ideas, like I got all these people that I'm going to talk to. I have, this is what I'm going to say. I have all this stuff that I'm going to do this week. And if it's up here, most likely 90 to 95% of it is never going to get done. But if it's here, if it's on here, it's real. And then you have to look at it every day. If it's on your whiteboard, which might be in front of your computer, then it's real. Every morning I come in, I look at my whiteboard, and I'm like, okay, that's what I gotta do, so.
All right, guys, we got to wrap up. So we have our business builders call starting now. So if you want to hang around for that, you're welcome to. Otherwise, we'll see you at next Monday's 8:00 p.m. Eastern new coach call. All right. But our business builders call is going to be on mindset and overcoming demons. So I can't wait to hear about that.
Stay on.
All right.
But I'm going to go make my recharge and be right back.
All right. We got to make sure Nikki joins. She's our speaker. Jill, you're still up.
I'm awake.
I know.
No.
I ever since you told me that you get up at 3 a.m., it just blows my mind. I can't get it out of my head. I'm like, how can anybody in the world get up at 3 a.m.?
You know what? News anchors do it. The morning news anchors do it. That's how I convince myself. If they can do it, I can do it. Yeah.
Wow.
You just have to go to bed a little earlier. Yeah.
No, but
so what time do you go to bed, Greg? You're a night owl.
I am. So a minimum, the earliest is like midnight. So yeah.
The earliest?
The earliest is midnight for me. But I don't have to get up, right?
Right.
So yeah, I wake up around 8:30 or 9 o'clock or whatever. So, that's fine.
Yeah, like half my day's already done.
Yeah, even when I work, the earliest I would get up would be like 6 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't imagine getting up at 3 a.m. That would totally throw me like the last time I got up at like 5 a.m. or 4:30 or something, where I had to catch a flight.
Yeah.
It was the last flight that I took because I had to be at the airport at 7 a.m. or whatever. So I had to get up at like 5. And I literally was sick. I was sick to my stomach the whole flight because I got up so early. I thought I was going to barf.
It's all in your head.
And you only get a couple hours of sleep.
Yeah, that's true because I couldn't go to sleep until
Right.
After 12. And then I had to get up, right in the middle of your REM sleep. That was terrible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even in college, I was waitressing and I would work the breakfast shift and work from 6 to 2. So I'm a morning person. I'm good with it.
Yeah. When you sleep in to 5 a.m. That's just.
Sometimes I do sleep till like 7, but
Yes, that's just wrong.